Let's see how to create a timeline. Choose the button Timeline and the new button from the menu, and we are in the timeline editor. At first, we write the title for our timeline, for example, Geographical Discoveries. If we like, we can add an audio file to the timeline and save. Now we can start adding the elements of the timeline. So we add an element, and we can define two kinds of element, or one single date or a period with a start date and an end date. At the beginning we put a period. So we say from 1300, and you can see that while I'm writing the data, the text is becoming green. If it's green, it means that the system understands that is a date. You can write a date as year or month and year, or day, month and year. In any case, when it's green, it's okay for the system. So our period starts in 1300 and ends in 1492. And we say that in this period the known continents were Europe, Asia and Africa. Okay, now we add a single date, 12 October 1492, and that is the America discovery. So in this case we don't write any end date, it's a single date. Here we want to add also some content, some description to the event. So we cut and paste some new about Christopher Columbus and so on, and we can apply styles to the text as usual. Now we want also to add a picture, so we go on the image button and upload from our hard disk a portrait, Christopher Columbus portrait. With a double click, we put it in the preview window, where we can set the size of the picture, and we can preview it together with the text. And of course, if we change the width, the height is proportionally changed, and we can decide the alignment left or right with the text. Okay, here we can also again change dimensions and position of the picture. Okay, now we will add some more events in order to make more significant our timeline. Okay, now we have enough event, period and single dates, and we go to add the last event, that is a single date, 14th December 1911. And we copy some text. Here we want to add a video, so we go to YouTube and copy the embed code for the video we like to put in the timeline. Okay, and here we have the video. Save our timeline, close it, and go to preview it. Here we have the timeline and the period from the start to an ending date, are these green elements, while the single dates are these other elements with a preview of image and video. If we click on it, we get the page with all the content. Here we have a navigation element. Clicking on the button with the double arrow, we can change the zoom level in the timeline, while clicking on the center, we can move along the timeline. We have also another possibility to see this timeline, and this button. Clicking it, we don't have anymore a graphic representation of the timeline, but we can have an overview on all the content we put inside it. And from this view, we can also print the timeline. The last thing to say is that if we have a lot of events in our timeline, the zero level of zoom, which is the default in this case, is not very good because we have too much events and they overwrite one on the other. So in this case, we can put from the beginning a level of zoom different from 0, for example 42 in this case. We save the timeline and previewing it, we see that from the beginning the timeline is the navigation element is in this position, and we don't have the complete view of our timeline, but everything is visible, every element is visible.